Welcome to Live Interactive English. Hi, I'm Matt.
And I'm Karen. Today we are looking at part 1 of El Dorado, the true story behind the lost city of gold. Ooh, I like the sound of that. The lost city of gold. So this place is called El Dorado. So I guess you can find a lot of gold there, right?
Yeah, I think it should be a city that's completely made of gold, so you get very rich if you find this lost city.
And it's quite famous, isn't it?
It is. There's been a few movies that are about finding this lost city of gold. And one that I remember, because I'm a big fan of this character, is an Indiana Jones movie.
Really? Yeah, so did he find El Dorado in the end?
In the end, yeah, they do find El Dorado, this city of gold, and they even find, I think, some of the explorers, some of the dead bodies of explorers that were looking for El Dorado.
Really? Yeah. Because there were probably a lot of people looking for this lost city of gold.
Right. It's a very, so many people want to find it because gold is worth so much money. So a whole city of gold would be, amazing to find, would definitely make you very rich and very famous probably.
Well, speaking of gold, do you know that we also had gold mines in Taiwan? In Jiufen, there is a gold museum as well.
Oh, that's right. So is that why some people call Jiufen the city of gold?
I guess so.
Okay.
Yeah. So in Taiwan, you can also see that too. But I would love to find that place if I were an explorer too.
Because if you find Jiufen, then you're probably just going to spend money instead of making money because you have to buy many things in Jiufen.
That is right. Okay, well, how about let's go into today's lesson and learn more about this magical place, El Dorado.
For centuries, explorers have searched for El Dorado, a city that some claim is made entirely of gold. However, despite numerous attempts, this city has never been found. So, is El Dorado real or just a myth? Tales of El Dorado emerged in the 16th century when Spanish conquistadors began to take control of South America. The natives there told them stories of a city filled with treasures. The Spanish called it El Dorado, which means the golden, after the riches it was said to possess.
So today we are looking at part 1 of El Dorado, the true story behind the lost city of gold. Ooh, like you said, the city is made of gold. Everything in the city is gold.
Right, so I'm hoping that this will let me know how I can find this lost city of gold so I can take all the gold.
Can you share some with me?
I don't think I'll have enough to share with you. I mean, I need it all for myself.
Yourself.
Yeah.
Come on, Matt, you can't be so greedy.
Wow, let's have to find it first.
All right.
For centuries, explorers have searched for El Dorado, a city that some claim is made entirely of gold.
I would love to visit this city. Everything must look really, really beautiful and shiny.
So for centuries, for hundreds of years, people have been searching for this city that some say, so maybe some claim, so it may or may not be true, because some claim it's entirely made of gold. However, despite numerous attempts, this city has never been found.
What? So nobody has ever found El Dorado?
But Indiana Jones did.
That's true.
So, is El Dorado real or just a myth?
So it could be just a myth, right? Real or just a myth. Okay, and we're looking at this word here, despite. So despite is a preposition. Basically, it just means regardless of or even though. So for example, despite working in a clothing store, Wendy didn't care about fashion. So even though she works in the clothing store, but this is not something that she really cares about. Okay, let's go back to the article. Tales of El Dorado emerged in the 16th century. So tales meaning stories. Stories of El Dorado emerged in the 16th century when Spanish conquistadors began to take control of South America. Emerge, what does that mean?
So to emerge means to come out of darkness or out of hiding or to become well known, to become known by all. So in this case, these tales or stories emerged, meaning that they became known to many other people. So another example, the worm emerged from a hole in the ground, meaning it came out of hiding or out of darkness.
That's right. And we're also looking at this word conquistador, right? And that basically means the conquerors.
That's right. So the Spanish conquerors from Spain that came over to South America and Central America and were conquering that area.
Exactly.
The natives there told them stories of a city filled with treasures. The Spanish called it El Dorado, which means the golden, after the riches it was said to possess. So they've given it this name because it's supposed to have so much gold. It's the golden city. It's just the golden.
That's right. That's why it got its name. And the native told them about this. So native, that is a noun. Basically, if you're native, that means that you were born, you're from that place. Our example sentence is the natives had never met someone from outside of their village. They have been in their village their whole entire life. So they have never met anybody outside of their village.
Okay, so they said that this city was named El Dorado because of the treasures it was said to possess. So to possess means to have or to have ownership of something, to own something. So if you have something, you possess it. So for example, my dream is to possess lots of money.
Yeah, I think your dream will come true.
I just have to find El Dorado.
That's
and then
true.
I will possess lots of gold, which I will sell and make money.
That's true, but we still don't know if it's real or a myth yet, right?
Wow, I'm going to start booking my flights, pretty soon. So.
Okay, keep me updated, okay? If it's true, then you gotta share some with me.
We'll see.
Okay, how about let's take a quick break and we'll be back to learn more about El Dorado. Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。这2天的课程是关于黄金国 El Dorado 的传说。那几个世纪以来，探险家一直在寻找黄金国。有人声称它是一座完全由黄金建造的城市。不过呢，尽管有多次的尝试，这座城市却从来没有被发现。到底黄金国是真实存在的，还是只是一个神话呢？课文提到说，黄金国的故事是出现在16世纪，当时西班牙征服者开始掌控南美洲，那里的原住民就有跟他们说一座充满宝藏的城市的故事。那据说是拥有丰富的财富，于是呢，西班牙人就用 El Dorado 来称呼，意思就是黄金的。我们看单字 despite 表示尽管、虽然，那注意它是介系词，后面要接名词或动名词。那 emerge 这个动词它表示出现、露出或者是兴起。那么 native 它是当名词，表示原住民、本地人，它也可以当形容词来形容出生地的、原产地的。再看到 possess。它是动词，表示拥有、具备。那么 Matt 老师在解释时，他用到 ownership， 在 owner 后面加上 ship， 那这个名词可以表达所有权、物主身份或者是拥有。好，再看到文中的 conquistador， 这个名词它表示征服者。那老师们这时候也有提到 conqueror 来表达征服者，它是拼作 conqueror，conqueror 它可以表达征服者或是胜利者。好，这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，这边我们来学习主词加上 be said to 再加原形动词，是表达据说什么什么。那它是以被动语态来表示公认或普遍的说法。例如 The abandoned house is said to be haunted。据说那一栋废弃的房屋有闹鬼。好，接回课文中。
The first person to try to find the city was the Spanish conquistador Francisco de Orellana. He and his men ended up sailing down an unexplored river until they reached the Atlantic Ocean. Despite not finding El Dorado, they became the first Europeans to travel the length of what we now know as the Amazon River, which was named by Orellana himself. Over the years, more explorers sought to find the city, though all these attempts failed. One mission, led by the German conquistador Nikolaus Federmann, ended in the deaths of almost his entire party. Meanwhile, the Englishman, Sir Walter Raleigh's efforts resulted in a costly battle with the Spanish and his own execution.
Welcome back. We were just learning about this lost city of El Dorado, which people have been searching for hundreds of years. And some say this city is made entirely of gold.
That's right.
So people first started to learn about this in around the 16th century when Spanish conquistadors were taking control of South America. They were told by the natives about this city of gold, and so they named it El Dorado, which simply means the golden, because of all the gold that was supposed to be there.
Exactly. Okay, let's learn more about it right now. The first person to try to find the city was the Spanish conquistador Francisco de Orellana. He and his men ended up sailing down an unexplored river until they reached the Atlantic Ocean. They ended up sailing down an unexplored river. That means a river that probably no one has ever been to before, that has not yet been explored. So it's called unexplored.
Okay. Very interesting. So, despite not finding El Dorado, they became the first Europeans to travel the length of what we now know as the Amazon River. Which was named by Orellana himself.
The Amazon River, of course, the famous Amazon.
Right, so one of a very large river, and they traveled the whole length of it, becoming the first Europeans to explore it. Because, of course, we don't know if the locals before the Europeans arrived, they'd probably been there and explored it already.
That's true. That is true. Over the years, more explorers sought to find the city, though all these attempts failed. That means whatever they tried or however they tried, nobody has succeeded. Nobody found El Dorado. So all of these attempts failed. One mission led by the German conquistador Nicholas Federmann ended in the deaths of almost his entire party. Oh no, because they want to go on this search to find El Dorado. So what happened? Almost his entire party died.
And it's not like a party, but a party just being a group of people doing something together.
I wonder how they died. Maybe from starvation.
Who knows? So we've got this, it was a mission, they were on a mission. So a mission is an important task given to a group of people, and it usually involves traveling abroad or traveling a great distance to achieve or to finish this mission. So for example, the men set off on the dangerous mission. Meanwhile, the Englishman, Sir Walter Raleigh's efforts resulted in a costly battle with the Spanish and his own execution.
Resulted in a costly battle that probably cost him a lot of men who had to die.
That's right, and in the end, I mean, it cost him his own execution.
What does that mean?
Well, this would mean that the Englishman and his men, they clearly lost this battle. Because it resulted in his execution, which means being killed, usually for having done a crime or being killed after being accused of being guilty of something. So in this case, because he is fighting for the other side in a battle, he was executed after this battle.
Oh no, but it just sounds like so many explorers had lost their lives just because they want to look for the city, right, of El Dorado.
Yeah, well, I think, because of this goal of becoming rich and famous and making a lot of money, that's what drives a lot of these explorers to explore these new places. And, it's very dangerous, but also by them having this drive to search for this gold, they're able to expand what we know about the world. They were able to, explore the entire length of the Amazon River, and they're going to new places that they wouldn't have gone if they didn't have this goal of getting all the gold.
I guess you're right. So although they didn't find El Dorado, but we still explored the world, right? Okay, but I guess we'll have to learn more in part 2, right?
Yeah, we're going to learn more when we come back next time, and we will see you then.
See you then. 好，那么第一位尝试寻找 El Dorado 这座城市的人呢，是西班牙征服者法兰西斯科·德·奥雷亚纳。他和他手下的士兵最终是沿着一条不曾有人探索过的河流来航行。那直到他们到达大西洋，尽管他们没有找到黄金国，可是却成了第一批穿越亚马逊河的欧洲人。那这条河是由奥雷亚纳本人命名的。多年来啊，有越来越多探险家试图要寻找这座城市，但是都失败了。课文就提到一位德国征服者所带领的任务，几乎导致他整批的人死亡。还有一位是英国爵士，他的尝试则导致了跟西班牙的一场战役。那这场战役呢，代价高昂，他本人也被处决了。好，来看到 execution 这个名词，就是表达处死、死刑。那么单字 mission， 它则表示重要任务或是使命。那这边有一个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，这边我们来看片语动词 end up， 它是表达最后处于某个状况或者是结果怎么样，后面必须接补语。那补语可以是形容词、现在分词 VING、过去分词 PP 或是介系词片语等等。我们来看两个例句。We ended up spending the entire day at home because of the heavy rain. 因为下大雨的关系，结果我们整天都待在家里没出门。第二个例句是 Their grandfather had a stroke and ended up in a nursing home. 他们的祖父中风，最后是待在疗养院里。好啦，那么以上这些讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
For centuries, explorers have searched for El Dorado, a city that some claim is made entirely of gold. However, despite numerous attempts, this city has never been found. So, is El Dorado real or just a myth? Tales of El Dorado emerged in the 16th century, when Spanish conquistadors began to take control of South America. The natives there told them stories of a city filled with treasures. The Spanish called it El Dorado, which means the golden, after the riches it was said to possess. The first person to try to find the city was the Spanish conquistador Francisco de Orellana. He and his men ended up sailing down an unexplored river until they reached the Atlantic Ocean. Despite not finding El Dorado, they became the first Europeans to travel the length of what we now know as the Amazon River, which was named by Orellana himself. Over the years, more explorers sought to find the city, though all these attempts failed. One mission, led by the German conquistador Nikolaus Federmann, ended in the deaths of almost his entire party. Meanwhile, the Englishman Sir Walter Raleigh's efforts resulted in a costly battle with the Spanish and his own execution.
Hey, it's KiWi on the street. I'm Kiki.
And I'm Winnie. Oh, by the way, Wendy bought us lunch, so that was a really big favor. Let's thank her. But how do we say that?
You mean in Chinese?
Yeah, thank you for doing us a favor.
I'm not sure, but maybe we can find some friends to help us with some translations.
很高兴能帮忙.
I'm glad to help you.
I'm glad to help you.
I'm happy for helping.
I feel
Happy to help you.
I help you
How does that make you feel?
happy.
Right? So,
I help you happy.
okay, very close. It's I'm happy to help. Okay, 我只是尽一己的微薄之力.
I just do my best.
Okay, I just did my very best. Very good.
Very good.
I try my best.
Great. Okay. I tried my best, or
I gave it my best shot.
I gave it my best shot. Very good. What did we learn today?
There are lots of different ways to say you're welcome when somebody thanks you, especially when you're helping them. And we heard some of them today. Let's learn a little bit more about how we can say it. The first one is glad to help. But you can also say, I'm happy to do it. And the next one is, it was the least I can do. But you can also say, I didn't have to go out of my way to help you. And those are some of the other ways we can say you're welcome. That's all for our translations today. KiWi later!